There's a version of this
Behold
story
the 12
claiming a
chambers.
Sumerian tablet
They are
describes Earth
stabilizing the
itself
core,
as a sealed
a
container built by
From
unknown
analyzing
beings to
complex
store
genetic
something
codes
across
to
12 hidden
measuring
chambers.
precise seismic
The planet's
shifts.
core, its mantle, specific ancient sites, ocean trenches, polar ice, a population of dormant
Even
beings,
from
the
orbit,
atmosphere,
the
the
energy is
magnetic
palpable.
field, the moon,
These sensors
background
capture the
resonance,
constant
human
pulse of the
DNA,
ocean.
and finally a single
Sunlight
door
scattering
said to open
through
on
the
a
thin
schedule
ozone
that's
layer
arriving
creates a
now
soft
within our
blue
lifetimes, with humanity itself engineered as the key. This one weaves in more real science than almost anything else we've covered. So I want to go through each piece carefully, because the individual
The waveform
phenomena
is holding
are often
perfectly
real
stable.
and genuinely
We are
interesting.
ready to proceed.
It's the conclusions drawn from them that don't hold up. There's no documented tablet from Sapar matching this description, and no named or locatable for translators, whose 1958 discovery and decades of private work can be checked against any real record. The same unverifiable by-design pattern we've flagged throughout this series, just spread across an unusually large number of claims. Now, the real phenomena, and what's actually known about each. The Earth's core does produce a slow, regular oscillation, sometimes called a hum or microseism, and a roughly 26-second signal was genuinely detected starting in the 1960s. It's not unexplained, though. The leading, well-supported explanation, based on real seismological research, is ocean waves interacting with the seafloor off the coast of West Africa, in the Gulf of Guinea. It's a real and interesting natural phenomenon, not a mystery science has given up on. The ozone layer is real, and it does block harmful ultraviolet radiation, but its origin is well understood and thoroughly documented. It built up gradually over roughly 2 billion years as photosynthetic organisms released oxygen into the atmosphere, eventually forming the ozone layer as a natural byproduct. It wasn't placed or engineered. Its formation is one of the better documented transitions in the history of Earth's atmosphere. The moon's angular size closely matching the sun's during a total eclipse is a real and genuinely striking coincidence, and it's fair to call it remarkable. It's also explained by ordinary orbital mechanics and the moon's gradual recession from Earth over time. Astronomers do note we happen to live during the geological moment when this alignment is possible, which is a real, interesting fact about our specific point in time, not evidence the moon was positioned on purpose. Earth's magnetic field is real, and it genuinely is weakening in places, including the well-documented South Atlantic anomaly, where the field is measurably weaker and does affect satellite electronics passing through it. This is a real, actively studied geophysical phenomenon, tied to the natural, somewhat chaotic behavior of the planet's molten iron core, not evidence of something being deliberately let out. The Schumann resonance is completely real, first calculated by the real physicist Winfried Schumann in 1952, and it's genuinely a fascinating, well-studied feature of the cavity between Earth's surface and ionosphere. The claim that it has been measurably shifting or developing troubling new harmonics over the past 30 years is not supported by the peer-reviewed geophysics literature. This specific claim circulates widely in online spiritual and conspiracy communities, but real, ongoing measurement shows the resonance has remained relatively stable within its known natural range. Non-coding regions of the human genome are real, and it's true that scientists once dismissively called them junk DNA, a framing modern genetics has actually moved past, since many non-coding regions turn out to have real regulatory functions, helping control when and how genes are expressed. That's a genuinely interesting correction to older science. It's a completely different claim, unsupported by any actual genetics, to say these regions store historical information, coordinates, or a narrative archive. Nothing in the structure or function of non-coding DNA works anything like written information storage of this kind. The Vostok Research Station in Antarctica is a real, genuine long-term Russian drilling project studying ancient ice cores, and it's legitimately fascinating science. The specific claim about a 2006 anomalous inclusion, report being filed, and then mysteriously withdrawn isn't something that can be verified in any real scientific record, and it follows the same unverifiable witness pattern as the rest of this piece. Now, the core claim this is all building toward, that Earth was never really meant to support human life, that we exist as an incidental byproduct of someone else's storage system, and that humanity itself was engineered to eventually locate and open a hidden door. I want to address this directly rather than just fact-checking the pieces, because it's worth contrasting with something specific and clear in Islamic teaching. The Quran states directly that Allah created for you all that is in the earth. The planet and its resources are described as a deliberate gift to humanity, not an incidental byproduct of a purpose that has nothing to do with us. Where this tablet's closing claim is that the planet was never for us, we were made for the container, Islamic teaching holds close to the opposite, that the earth and human life upon it were made with humanity's benefit in mind, under Allah's direct design and care, not as an afterthought serving some other hidden agenda. It's also worth naming directly and calmly the doomsday framing running through this entire piece. Dormant entities that will wake, a door that opens within the next several decades, real natural processes reframed as countdown indicators converging on the present moment. This is the same pattern we've corrected in other scripts in this series, just built from an unusually large number of real, individually mundane phenomena stitched together to feel like converging evidence. As before, there's no real basis for treating any of this as a working prediction of a specific near-future event, and it's worth recognizing how much more convincing this technique feels when it's built from real science rather than invented details. That's exactly why it's worth slowing down on, not speeding past. So where does that leave us? With a genuinely rich set of real natural phenomena, core oscillations, the ozone layer's real formation, the moon-sun eclipse coincidence, the weakening magnetic field, the real Schumann resonance, real questions about non-coding DNA, real ice core science at Vostok, each accurately interesting on its own terms, and each mischaracterized here to build an entirely unsupported claim that the planet is a sealed vault approaching its unlocking, and underneath all of it, a conclusion about human purpose that stands in direct contrast to the Quranic teaching that the earth was made for us, not the reverse. If this kind of thread interests you, each of the real phenomena named here, Earth's magnetic field, the Schumann resonance, non-coding DNA, the moon's slow recession, is genuinely worth reading about directly. They're remarkable enough as real, ongoing areas of active scientific research, without needing to be assembled into a countdown. The planet you live on has a real, ongoing, actively studied set of processes running beneath your feet, above your head, and inside your own cells. None of them are secretly counting toward a door. What's actually there is stranger in the best sense. An enormous, genuinely unfinished area of real human knowledge, still being worked out by real scientists, one measurement at a time.